everybody. Coming up on today's Madge Unmuted, you'll meet my kids. My incredibly wonderful kids. You'll find out how they turned out so great despite having me as a mother on today's Madge Unmuted. Welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. I am your hostess, Madge Madigan. Welcome. And with me, as always, is Fitz.
Hi.
That guy from Rockfox Studios.
With my jacked up camera in here, because you guys got all the good ones.
That'll get you a lot of customers, like talking shit about your shitty
look how
equipment.
good it looks. It's a jacked up camera. Still looks pretty good, so.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Awful. Anyway, Fitz, Rockfox Studios for all your recording needs. Rockfox.com.
Couldn't have said it better yourself.
I did. Today, I have the best program in the world. Because with me today, I have the three best people in the entire world. My children.
Hello.
Hello. We have the young man, Jack.
Hi.
Okay. And then seated next to him, but you guys can't tell, or this way, Abigail.
Hi.
And for a repeat performance, we have Libby.
Hello. Happy to be back.
So they're all home for Thanksgiving, and they live in the greater New York metropolitan area. So for our first topic today, kids.
All of you live there?
Yeah, my sister and I, Abby, we live in Stamford, Connecticut. We share an apartment together with a third other roommate.
Another Abby. Hi,
Another Abby. Yes, I separate them by Sister Abby and roommate Abby. And then Jack lives in about 45 minutes away by Metro North in the beautiful New York City.
Wow.
Couldn't be more vague.
I think you want to keep it vague.
In the lovely borough of Queens.
Exactly.
Who's at 123 Sesame Street?
Works in
Check him out.
Manhattan, lives in Queens.
I think Sesame Street is in Queens.
Oh, well, there you
Get
go.
the
Production
fuck out.
production studios in Queens.
Right around the corner.
By the way, kids, you can swear if you want.
No, we're talking about Sesame Street.
Oh. Okay, kids, so our first topic of the day is how do we solve the supply chain issue?
So I'm sure Jack has a few ideas on how to fix the supply chain.
Jack has a degree in economics from NYU.
That's the Spanish version of it.
And you have your degree in what? Communication?
Yeah, fuck you, Fitz.
Not in English, though.
And then Lib's got her degree in business management.
Yes, ma'am.
And Abby has her degree in sociology.
Oh, yeah. Recent shout out to the newest graduate and also the last graduate of the Zabelny Madigan family.
Syracuse graduate.
Congratulations.
Woo. Thank you.
Woo. I have 3 college graduates.
A
Anyway,
whole lot of smarts at that table.
Jack went to NYU, Libby went to Quinnipiac, and Abby went to Syracuse.
I mean, those are amazing schools.
Fucking top notch.
I didn't know about it until like 2 years ago, but I always wanted to go to NYU film school. Like, I didn't know about it when it mattered, but now I think, wow, I should have always wanted to go to NYU, but I couldn't have gotten in there anyway.
Doesn't everybody want to go to NYU film school?
Yeah, it's like Tisch at NYU and
Yeah.
then USC, I think is the one in California. I was making talking points for the supply chain crisis, but we can move on. It's fine.
Ooh, leave that bit in. He'll sound smart.
You can. Can I have your talking points on your supply chain?
So we have a labor shortage in long-haul trucking drivers, as well as crewmen for shipping vessels. We have the drastic change in available supply and demand as it relates to the pandemic.
Yes.
I mean, those are the two main things.
Okay.
And it's just
See, I thought you were joking, but he actually does know.
Oh, yeah. He's quite familiar with that.
My kids are very, very smart, and sometimes, unlike their mother, sometimes I'm
are
like,
you them honest? My kids are smarter than your kids.
no. Well, they are though. No. Okay. Anyway, so what was it like growing up with me as your mother?
I can imagine that it was there was a lot of comedy, a lot of laughing, a lot of joking around.
Yes. We have an incredibly loud dinner table. The kids came home Saturday night,
Yes,
and we had a couple friends over, and it was so loud, and like nobody could get a word in edgewise, and it was just joke, 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 joke.
And you're like, we should do a podcast. And then fast forward to here.
And then everybody
Yeah, what
just
happened?
sits there.
I'd like to clarify that most of the loudness was myself.
So what's the birthing age here? Do that again. I can't remember.
Jack
Okay.
is 27. Libby is 24. And Abigail is 22.
Okay.
But they all have birthdays January, February, March, so they're all about the
Cool.
Let's
Which one's
just-
you February?
I was going to say, let's add the date and the month and,
Sure.
our
Can
social
you put
while
your
we're at
social
it.
in there? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, to add a little interesting tidbit to it is that me and Abby actually have matching tattoos that coincide with our birthdays. Abby's
be somewhere
trying to
else.
show hers up there too.
They were both born on the 21st day of their coinciding
Yes,
month.
I was born January 21st, and Abby was born February 21st.
Nice.
And
So-
Jack was born March 19th.
Yeah,
There,
but-
now everybody knows your passwords.
But
True,
Jack
true.
does not like to partake in matching tattoos with others.
I wasn't invited.
he has the most
That's true.
tattoos, but
You didn't invite him to get a 19, or would you just gotten a 21 just because your
Just
sisters?
the hell of it.
Sure.
we probably would have had to come up with
For
another
my sister's
idea.
birthday.
Yeah.
He does. They all get along famously. So
I could tell.
Well, Abby and I will tell you about our newly added 21 tattoos. We keep running into the issue of her and I will go out together a bunch while we're in Stanford, and people will be, talking to us. One, in case you can't tell already, me and Abby don't look like siblings whatsoever. We do not look like sisters. People do not pick up on the fact of that. But they'll see our 21
are you
tattoos.
questioning me?
And they'll start to automatically assume that for whatever reason they were put on there on our 21st birthdays, and that they stand for that we're 21.
Which
And
is so fucking
Forever
stupid.
21.
Yeah, that is really.
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
stupid.
And that we're gonna get a 22 next year and a 23 and
And so
By
on.
the time you're 50s, you run out of arm.
yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, actually, the last time that we were out, we had a kid that was very, very convinced that we were not related whatsoever. Her and I both still have like our Rochester licenses, so we literally were trying to show this kid that we were related. We were like, we have the same last name, and if you
Same
remember,
address.
Address.
like, yeah, same last name, same address, and like as he's staring at it, the way that it's broken up on the ID, it'll go first name, middle name, and then like separate from there underneath is like your last name. So he kept reading it as he was like, oh well, no, your middle name's Claire. Your last name is Claire. Your last name is McCall, and then. Which is not true. He's just reading our middle names.
Kid's a fucking idiot.
And then he was like,
Hope
obviously,
you didn't continue to talk. to
no,
him.
then he was obviously very drunk though, and he decided that we also weren't related because my name was Elizabeth and her name was Abigail. So
Yeah.
Because everyone who's related has to have the same first name.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's about 5 inches height difference between them too.
Yeah. So
So-
we just kind of made fun of him and then laughed.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
But yeah, that was one of just many people that try to talk to us in the evening. But it's always super entertaining because most of them just try to talk to Abby. And then Abby has a boyfriend though, however. So then she'll
Shout out to Bones.
but then sometimes she'll just be trying to pass them off to me in a sense. They'll be like,
I don't like to talk. I don't like want to talk to any strangers,
Yeah.
like at a bar, like any guys or anything. So I just am like, oh, like, well, have you met my sister? Just so I can like
And she'll
walk
talk
away.
to anybody.
But like sometimes it doesn't work. So my next resort is to just be like kind of as weird as possible. Not like being mean, but like
Yeah.
one time I took it a little too far, like making fun of this guy's mustache. He just had a mustache, and I took it a
Never
little too
ever
far.
make fun of a man's facial hair.
I took it a little too far by
is
being
mean.
like, "Oh, you look like you're from France." Ho, ho, ho. You gotta-" And then I was like, "Okay, I should probably. I'll leave." Yeah.
I did
Feel
the
bad.
sweet. I did the soir.
We were still complimenting him though. It was a very well kept mustache, but it was just
Did it have like the wax ends and stuff like twirled up and
Well, yeah, he
yeah.
wanted to curl up the ends for a little handlebar, and he was still trying to be like, "Oh, but like, am I cute? Like, you know, how is this cute? Like,
Not
still
since
trying to
you
be
said that.
flirty." But me and this other random girl were just like, "Oh, ho, ho, you got a baguette," and
I got a baguette.
Where's your beret?
yeah,
You can't call people that anymore.
I
Baguette.
know.
Jack, how do you feel about someone making fun of a man's facial hair?
You can always shave it off. So
But-
if it doesn't work,
Has anyone
it's not
ever
working.
Has anyone ever told you they don't like your?
Oh no, I get too many compliments.
humble brag.
Specifically from
The Brawny Corporation.
Brawny, yes.
Gay men that like bears,
I was
and
gonna
you're
say,
straight.
I was gonna
so-
say from straight men who feel embarrassed.
That's fair.
That's me.
Wow.
That's me.
Yeah, I have straight men come up to me and they feel very
Threatened by your facial hair?
almost no, they're not threatened. They're like almost like wow,
In awe?
goals. I wish
yeah.
I could.
I share those views. I've never been one to be able to grow a mustache or a beard or any kind of facial hair. This is just because my kids stole my razor.
Yes. So talk about people approaching you at bars. No romantic partners, not even free drinks, just guys who like my beard.
Nice.
Can I run my
chicks don't
hand
like
through
it?
it? Just a
No
little.
chicks like my beard. It's just they're
Chicks
not
you go
coming
out on dates with?
They're not coming up to me and out of nowhere and saying, "Hey, hi, I like your beard."
That's bastard. Come on, girls.
They should.
I'm
Walk up to my son and tell him he's got a nice.
He gets complimented on his dance moves at bars. though.
Yes, he does.
he knows how to shake it
Yeah. And we'll
in
leave
a
it.
non-embarrassing way.
He's quite the.
He's actually good at dancing, and
He is. Well, didn't you actually take a dance class in
yeah, Irish
college?
step dancing when you were
Well, no-
like 7 years old.
I was conscripted into taking Irish step dancing classes in middle school.
And that's where it began.
That's where it
I know
began.
conscription.
Hey, you
And
got a
that's-
great score at that talent show.
And that's where it ended.
Madge, did you make him take Irish
I did
dancing?
not.
I was
Okay.
conscripted.
Well,
It was
who
suggested to all
conscripted
of
you?
us.
Was it in school?
No.
It was an extracurricular. I was dropped off at and then picked up when I didn't have a choice.
Look, I had to get to happy hour somehow, so I just dropped you kids off at Irish dance class.
Well, see, actually, I think what she used it as is it was kind of a to get a way in because we all then had to participate and be actively dancing in the St. Patrick's Day parade. So she didn't even have to get a babysitter or anything to watch us, so she could go and drink at the
So
parade.
500 drunk people. Watch my kids.
Exactly.
Watch them dance.
No, we all marched with this was in Denver. We all marched with the school, whatever step dancing school we were a part of. It's like, come on, kids, we're going into Fido's.
Oh yeah, no, it was great out there.
It's fun.
Ex-
That was in
but-
Denver?
yeah.
Yeah.
we lived
I
in-
forgot you lived in Denver.
Yeah. I like to forget
All I
it.
remember is Dunkirk. Did you guys ever live in Dunkirk?
No.
No.
So where did you grow up? In Denver?
They were all born here.
Yeah.
Their father and I were married, and they were all born here, and they all got baptized here. And then when, oh God, what was it? 2000, the year 2000, he got transferred with this job, and we were living on the west side. Jack started out at Spencerport Schools, and so then we moved out there, and we lived there. And then shortly after our arrival, the dad and I got divorced, and I stayed out there for 6 years. So, and then we moved back here.
Okay.
So, but they all went to high school and everything here. So,
Yeah, we all had our fair share of public and also private schools, so we're very well rounded. except we escaped the.
Equally disturbed.
Yeah. No, if anything.
I'm a recovering Catholic high school student as well.
I think we all got lucky that we didn't have to experience public high school. Because we're already depressed and anxious and diagnosed with all those as is. So I think the public school would have made it worse.
So what?
Let's talk about the fun stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Like,
No, actually-
go back to when you guys were little kids. And can you? Is there one sort of collective memory that everybody talks about?
How?
Remember that time when mom got drunk and whatever. Besides those,
No, I
because there's probably
wish.
too many of those.
I mean, I
kidding.
think we all just in our brains, especially one of the worst moments of our lives was all having to do that, few day cross country trip from Denver to Rochester.
Oh God, I can't. And you were how
that
old when
really
you did?
that
You were
bad?
young when you did that, right?
Abby was in 2nd grade.
Yeah, I was like 7.
Seven.
I was,
Enough
in, I was
said.
in 4th
She's
grade.
in
Enough
4th
said.
grade, and Jack
You're
was in
in
7th
seventh.
grade.
And we brought our cat with
Fucking
us too. So
I can
and it-
see we're not like you don't even want to talk about this.
And it's a covered litter box, and the cat would not come out of the litter box.
And also, though, that cat was my mortal enemy when I was growing up.
Actually,
so-
yeah, that'd be something that we all collectively remember is how
her name
evil
was
the
Mitzi,
cat
and
was.
she was cute, but that trip traumatized her, and that was the end of good times with Mitzi.
Well, Abby, why don't you tell the story as to what was the last straw that?
Well, when we were when we were younger, me and Libby we had a bunk bed, and so it's like hard to put sheets and shit on a bunk bed, and
yeah.
and so our cat really started going like kind of feral, and she was like throwing up in the windowsills and like on our shoes and stuff like that, and she would consistently pee on my bed, and so my mom would always have to do my sheets and stuff like that, and she had just put my fresh sheets on, and the cat crawled into bed with me, and I was like, oh, thanks, like we're gonna like snug and then go to bed or whatever.
Pissed
And
on
then
you.
it got super warm by my feet, and I was like, what the fuck? And she peed on me again, and that was just kind of the last straw.
Was that the end of the cat?
Yeah. And the cat,
Well, yeah. So the cat peed on the bed while Abby was in it, and we grabbed our mom to tell her that that's what happened. And that was also our mother's last straw with the cat. So in the most humane possible, my mom picked up the cat out of our room and opened up the front door and put it outside. And we never saw Mitzi ever.
to be
Not share that.
to be fair, yeah, because I'm gonna have all the animal people now.
Oh, Madge
Yeah,
is gonna
yeah.
get canceled.
I needed Fitz to hear the end of that story as to how that was truly the end.
So what the cat
Definitely
used-
was.
the
Yeah, you
cat
can
used
edit
to-
that out, but
the
that's
cat used-
okay.
the cat used to sit on top of your comforter and everything, so it was the comforter and the sheets and everything that got wet. It wasn't just like when a little kid pees the bed and it's like, oh, a little wet. So anyway,
It goes all the way through to the core of the
mattress.
earth.
Seriously. So anyway, this cat wanted to go outside all the time. And this cat would sit at the door and meow. We let it roam around in the garage closed. We used to let it roam around in the backyard fenced in until it figured out a way to get out. But she would always come back. She would just like roam around, and then all of a sudden we'd see her sitting at the door like, oh, okay, I guess she got out again. And she would sit there and meow at the door, and I'm like, I'm not letting you go out again. So that was it. I was just like, okay,
Fine.
here, you want to go out? And I was perfectly thinking, okay, she'll just go out. She'll
Oh, and
get
she never
her-
came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she always did.
It's too
I was
bad how that worked out great
But see,
for you.
also, I thought that was part of it, that she was pissed that I wouldn't let her go outside, that she was peeing on everybody's stuff. So that was like, okay, you want to go out? Here, go out. And so it wasn't like I punted the cat out the front
No,
door or
yeah.
anything.
And then we never got a pet again.
Yep, that was the last. That was the last Velny Madigan pet that ever existed.
Except for fish. But sometimes when those would die when I was little, they ran away. And I believed that the fish ran away for years when we lived in Colorado. and you guys made it very believable because you took the top off the tank and you put little water droplets everywhere. And I was like, wow, he must be very special.
Flipper Prince.
So Abby is,
And he never came back.
is
either.
very gullible in stories like that when she was younger to just she
Oh, that's
but she
precious.
loved make believe,
love
like
you.
not in like a like we would always try to make fun of her or like make jokes. It was just any thing that was like given
Abby's
out to
flipping you
kids
off.
as ideas. Like she just loved make believe. Like she loved the tooth fairy. She loved fairies.
Santa.
She would be writing notes to the tooth fairy.
Santa's real, so I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Oh, yeah.
She would write notes to the tooth fairy like,
They
hey,
all responded.
yeah,
so-
exactly.
Excuse
My
me.
mom would take the time to respond to these notes to my sister.
Nobody listen to this fucking show is fucking still believes in fucking Santa.
Let me ask Jack a question.
Wait. The guy, I didn't let her finish the
Oh,
story
sorry.
real quick.
Oh, I was just going to
Sorry,
say
you're gonna-
one of Abby's notes was like, can you show me what your house looks like? And so my
To the
mom,
tooth fairy.
To the tooth fairy. My mom took the time to sketch out a mansion for
Castle.
for the tooth fairy and left it on a note underneath
That's the best.
Abby's pillow. So I can't blame Abby for
a
any
picture
of
of
this.
herself.
Yeah.
That makes up for the cat, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
But I was also convinced that when I was older, my career was either going to be the tooth fairy or I was going to be a balloon animal doctor, which
Oh, Fitz, why don't you ask her what is a balloon animal
In all
doctor?
seriousness,
Oh, I know
she
exactly what
said
that
this.
is.
yeah. And so, I mean, they never get shots. So I'll let you know that. So.
Abby, why don't you tell the audience what you actually meant when you said a balloon animal doctor?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard this.
A balloon animal?
She meant a clown. How they
No, I
make.
didn't. I fucking hate clowns.
No, I thought you meant that's what how the balloon animals existed.
That's the 21st
No.
century description of a clown. Balloon animal doctor.
balloon animal doctor.
I
hate
just-
clowns.
I just liked being a balloon animal doctor.
Slapstickologist.
That was it.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
What was your question you were going to ask, Jack?
I was going to ask Jack, is this what it's like when you were growing up, where all of them are talking and you're just sitting there watching like a tennis match?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
no.
Just happy to hang out. Happy to be here.
No.
Jack's first 12, 13, 14 years, probably 12 or 13, until he got too cool. It was him. All Jack
Was the All Jack show?
Jack show, talking, hollering. Well, when you were
We
little,
love the Jack show. Though.
oh, it was all. "Ah!" And you see, I am not exaggerating. He used to make that sound, and he would like any man that walked in the house. Well, his dad, my ex-husband, started it. His dad started it. Like, come here, buddy, and like got him in the habit of like tackling any man that walked in the door.
My dog's like that. You rough them up when they cut, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, so Jack would launch himself on people, but it's funny because you're so mellow now. He played hockey, he played rugby, he played football.
Well, because when we were younger too, Jack obviously is the oldest. He would come up with the more like, I guess, intellectual ways to like kind of rag on like me or Libby. So it was smart at the time.
Make fun of you in ways you didn't understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
That's what a big brother does.
Yeah. Now that it's almost Thanksgiving this week, but Thanksgiving, like a long, long time ago, Jack started it, but the two of them started calling me. I went to the bathroom and then came back to the dinner table, and they started calling me a BM, and I didn't know what that meant, and they were calling me a bowel movement. And then I went and I
Wow.
hid under my bed upstairs because I didn't want anyone to find me.
See?
So he always started the stuff in a smart way.
Yeah, Jack was more into intellectual warfare than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Jack is probably worse than as an older brother. Like he's like the best big brother ever, but in terms of, you'd think of like, oh, my older brother, yeah, like he used to bully me, like make fun of me. There is nothing that messes with your brain more than like everyone around you, or in this case, it'd normally be like Jack and my mom or something, or Jack and his friends or whatever, that it is so funny whatever he just said, and it's at your expense, but you have absolutely no idea what it means. And it's just way worse than him being like, you ugly bitch or something like that.
I
Like,
would never allow that. Hey, so,
We don't talk like that.
No,
no,
yeah,
you
no,
don't.
never.
I taught them from an early age, and I don't remember like exactly saying this, but I remember teaching you. I want to preface this by saying I don't think these kids have ever had a fight. I mean, I think they've gotten annoyed with each other. They have never had a fight, never yelled at each other, never hit each other, never. And I was always like, okay, you got a problem with whoever, you talk to them civilly about it. And also, we don't call names. We do not call names of.
At least not that you understand.
Uh-oh. No, there was no, Oh, and also the other thing I said is never say shut up to each other, and never yell at each other.
Well, I think we all have the same.
What does that say? Poop?
Yeah.
Now the real children are coming out.
Well, me and Jack had to communicate without
For the
being
audio
loud.
listeners, which if you're not on the YouTube or wherever this is video, Abby's finger says poop in
wrote it in pen.
in pen, not in poop.
That's crazy. Do it again. That's hilarious.
Abby
Now
wants
this thing's getting funny.
Abby wants that as a ringtone. do the sound.
Which one?
What you just did. Abby got a phone call. Anyway, so yeah, I just said we don't fight and scream and holler and throw shit at each other. And I've listened to stories your friends have told, or that.
Oh, our friends are crazy.
Oh my God! It was like.
Mom, even your stories with your own siblings are insane. You and Aunt Jane throwing metal hairbrushes at each other or whatever.
There was a wooden hairbrush. She threw it at me once, and it hit my arm.
Me and
Oh, yeah,
Abby
we all
never-
have those stories.
See, but we don't. That's what
Yeah.
we're trying to say. I've never thrown anything. They've
That's
never
amazing
thrown
because I have
anything at
3
me.
kids and they're all close in age as well. What are you? You're what? 3 years?
3 and 2.
3 and 2. Yeah, I have my first 2 kids are only 13 months apart, and then there's like 2.5 years between the other 2.
Irish twins.
Yeah, but they're pretty close, but they had their little scraps. But I don't think there's anything that was like real, like groundbreaking.
Well, just tell them that you have to, more than anything, so you don't fight with one another, is bond over just being angry at your parents. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. Speaking of that, my friend Colleen, hey Colleen from Dunkirk, she lives in down south, and she'll come up every summer, and we get together down in Dunkirk. And anyway, last time I was with her this summer, and I post a lot on social media. Yeah, follow me on social media at Madge Madigan, and while you're here, subscribe. So she. Because I always post pictures, and like we're always just having a blast and smiling and laughing and whatever. So she said last time I saw her, she's like, is that like for real? Is that like always like, are you kids always like lovey and like that? And I'm like, oh no, sometimes they can be assholes.
It's a bit.
I hear things under their breath, like, or behind my back, like they don't think I'm looking when they give the to mom thing. But that's universal.
Fuck she talking about?
I know.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Fucking idiot.
Stupid idiot.
See, that's why I am titling this episode "What the Fuck, Mom."
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, because I know you've even told me you're like you guys are talking, and then you'd be like, and I said to Abby, like, "What the fuck, Mom?" So, yeah, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the Madigan's Belling house, but it mostly is. I just remember, Jack, when you were a senior in high school and Libby was a freshman, oh my God, it was like any older sibling, and she wanted to be like, "Don't, this is my brother, I want to," and you wanted to talk to the big senior boys and whatever, and he's like, with his eyes, although he never said it, he was just like, "Get the fuck out of here." But also you were like, you are never to talk to these boys because they do not do nice things to girls. Wasn't that kind of it?
So Fitz, you said, Jack, you're a tennis match
Right.
viewer. You're very quiet. I have very bad long-term memory. So pretty much every single childhood story we've discussed so far,
You can't remember.
I don't remember.
Doesn't
So
exist.
Have you blocked it out? Was it that traumatic?
I just don't. I have nothing to contribute. I'm basically imagine. What do you call your fans? Unmuties?
No.
Unmuted.
Muties?
Imaginary?
Madge.
Yeah, because there aren't
Madgers.
any.
Well, they're on muters now.
Madgers.
Fighting
I'm
Madgers?
basically one of you guys. So like, comment, and subscribe.
When people ask where Jack's from, he gives them the old "I live in the now. I live in the now" moment.
Honestly,
You really don't.
home is where the heart is.
You really don't remember
Brooklyn.
stuff.
Queens.
Queens Abbey.
Now Queens.
We all still think it's Brooklyn, though.
Queens Abbey.
Whatever.
You really don't remember the stuff.
No, like every
said
story
it.
we've
Yeah,
just
I know, it was
discussed.
like a bit.
It's not a bit.
Chuck's like, let me come in. I'm going to tell everyone that I just awoke from a coma 2 days ago and I'm
Yeah.
trying to relearn my life.
If this were a bit, then later on, I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. I remember that. The comments are gonna be, they're gonna be coming for me. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
since I genuinely don't remember, they can't come for
So
me.
do you remember the shitty stuff? Like food stamps and shit?
Oh my god, I did not sign up for talk about this.
I'm not going to expand on it. I was just, okay, never
I
mind.
was just hoping Jack was going to chime in after we talked about our cat with how great of a cat that Jack has himself. He's a phenomenal cat owner.
Oh, Jack's cat dad.
There was no space for it. I didn't want to crowd the mic.
Well, jump in now. Tell us
Well,
about
I don't want to fuck
Just
with.
pretend like it's at home.
I don't want to fuck with Fitz's levels.
Isn't
Shout
that
out to the
nice?
booth. I do have a cat. He's 3.5 years old. He's a black cat named Stanley Tucci.
Woo.
Adopted from a
classic.
rescue shelter. So I did a complete 180 of the Madge approach to cat parenting. And
Having the
You
devil
saved them
adopt
from
one
the
on
streets.
having the devil leave one on your doorstep.
Mitzi originally came from a shelter.
My mom sold her soul for that cat. That's why it was so crazy.
I like that your cat's name is Stanley Tucci.
yeah, he's a
Isn't that the
he's a
best?
great little dude.
We tried to get Stanley Tucci for bottom feeders.
No
Obviously,
way.
it didn't happen.
Wow.
He was
No.
not available, but they
That would
they
have been
replied
the
to me.
name.
He's in Italy.
they replied to me.
We are
That's
addicted.
awesome.
Well, I am. I guess. Well, we were watching it at home. We love his show. On what is it? What's
The
the, actual
cooking
name
one?
of it?
The food one?
Searching for Italy.
Yeah.
Searching for Italy. That's it.
Shout out to Stanley Tucci, Searching for Italy.
Yeah.
Big Night is
Call
like
us-
one of my favorite movies of
Call
all
us
time.
Stanley. What is?
Big Night,
I've
didn't
heard
see
of
that
it,
one?
I don't know. Do you?
where he and Tony Shalhoub play brothers from Italy, and they own a little
Yes.
ristorante,
Yes.
and they're up against the the Americanized Italian restaurant down the street,
They're-
owned by Ian Holm.
They just open up a can of SpaghettiOs.
I like him in the Hunger Games.
Stanley Tucci wants to do a Searching for New York. Feel free to feature Madge Unmuted on the Rochester section. The Monroe County Searching for New York episode.
Don't come in my kitchen because there ain't no cooking in there.
What happens in your kitchen?
We mill around and stare at the fridge.
It's really good at that.
The
turns eating
fridge
over the
is
sink.
full. The fridge is full, but
Guess what it's filled with?
Abby.
Alcohol.
Body parts?
Like,
That's where my
you
mom
sleep
makes
in
me
the
sleep. The fridge.
refrigerator.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Lily.
Right now, it's either when you're not home, it's just empty.
So what?
It really is sounding like she makes me sleep in the fridge. When you're not home, it's empty.
Not you particularly. I mean, yeah, no, he doesn't. She doesn't sleep. in
So what do you guys want to do? Like, Jack,
there's some
you're
rats.
living in, was it Queens or Brooklyn? I couldn't follow.
Abby's telling
you guys are
rumors.
back and forth.
Queensland.
At this rate, nobody knows. But it
It's
is
on the border.
It is Queens.
What are you doing out there? Like, are you planning on staying out there? Are you starting a career out
Yeah,
there?
I'd
What's
like
going
to.
on?
Hasn't left.
Twist. I do have a career. I
Ever
work.
since he graduated from NYU 5 years ago.
I do work in human resources for the city of New York. I'm a government employee.
Explains more. Okay.
So
Explains why he's
But
short.
Jack loves the unions.
is that what you aspired for to live in New York City? Is like you always wanted to?
Oh yeah.
All
He's
three of
never
you
coming
are
back.
like kind of big
Sorry.
city people now. So is that
Shit.
what you?
Sorry.
You
We're
know
hoping
he's
to do?
here.
yeah, you know I'm here, right?
I'm the mother. I do that shit. You just have to deal with it. Sorry, Jack. Go ahead and answer.
As Madge said, I aspired to it. There was never a moment where I didn't aspire to aspiring.
And
But
he
in
aspired.
actuality, I didn't know I wanted to live in the city until I started going to NYU,
And then you just got hooked.
and then I didn't find a good way to leave, and there wasn't anywhere to go that seemed like a better fit, so I stuck around.
Okay.
I'll ask my mom this. Out of all of us, not now, but when we were younger, still like middle school, high school age, there's always the, like someone kind of gives the city vibe. Someone gives like, oh, they'll go off on their own, like go to New York City or Boston, Chicago, LA, something big like that. Did you think Jack would be the one to be the New York City kid?
I did when he was in high school, and he started to wear his pea coat and a nice, beautiful wool plaid scarf, all neatly arranged. And then we lived just a few blocks from the Catholic high school that he went to, and he would take a traveler coffee mug filled with tea, and he would walk over to school. He looked like and with his backpack, and I was like, that kid looks like he belongs in New York City. So he was like, that's sophisticated guy.
You didn't think Abby would just
Now,
be
I was
in the
gonna
sewers
say,
of New York City?
Abby looks like
Well,
trash.
Abby wouldn't be in the with the rats in New York City.
Abigail, she's
That's
a
the vibe she gave me.
She's a downtown girl. Jack's an
Trash.
uptown girl. No, but no.
no,
so
Jack is downtown. Abby's
were-
uptown. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. You were older, so you're 5 years apart. So I thought you were just like gonna be Rochester girl forever.
God damn it! I knew you were gonna say that.
You
That
were so
is-
into everything and so into the community and people and your friends, and I just thought you liked that. Abigail, yeah, I thought as she started to get into, I think it was junior high, I was like, oh, she's gonna be a little city gal. And then when she started there was a group of 4 girls. She had 3 little friends, and their thing is like and they're like 12, 13. And they wanted to get together at the weekend, and they would all get dressed up, and then one of us parents would drop them off at like one of the fancier restaurants in town. And they would all just get like, the appetizer of mac and cheese, but they all thought they were like in Sex in the City at 12 and 13. I'm not kidding. It was the cutest little thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll take that over whatever. So, yeah, I thought you were going to be.
There's still time for her. She just graduated from college.
Well, you're in
so-
Stamford. It's, you're not too far. You're not feeling
Is
it?
that a nice area? I heard bad things about Stanford.
Yeah, it's not the nicest area, I would say. Like right outside of it, you obviously have like the beautiful, nice suburbs of Connecticut.
Sure.
But
Greenwich.
So Stanford, they're trying to do the thing, honestly, similar to Rochester, that they're trying to build it up to be for younger people like our age. So it's kind of giving like the Park Ave vibe.
Yeah.
But they're, building up restaurants, and a lot of like companies are offering and trying to cater towards younger people and building apartment buildings and stuff like that. So I'm sure at some point it'll get there, but right now, unless you live like directly in the city, like on what, like I said, similar to Park Ave, then it's not
Yeah.
super interesting.
Do you miss living near your mom? Don't all answer at once.
definitely living like near
I don't
Madge,
mean
for
living
sure,
with.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously
Oh,
nobody.
no.
I mean, I
misses
think
that.
Abby was the only one that
Nobody.
really got that experience of living like close to her with going to Syracuse. Because like
Yeah.
me and Jack were both 5 to 6 hours away.
So
mean, I
when
never
you
went
left
home,
for
though.
college, you never came back, essentially. You
yeah,
didn't come back to
yeah.
live.
Him and I both got jobs, right? I mean, so did
Yeah.
she. She just happened to have, yeah, like she said, she didn't come home.
I
She never came home from Syracuse.
She
and
would
I-
come to me because she was close.
Yeah, I
so.
mean, like May. I don't even know if I ever came once a semester. I don't.
Did you just come back for the holidays
yeah,
when there was breaks?
Yep, that was it. Even like the summers, I didn't really like want to stay home, but
Yeah.
it was
yeah.
fine. Like that I had to be home.
She was like, "I hate this. I got to get the fuck out of here." No offense, Mom. Okay.
I'm experiencing that now because my son goes to Fredonia and he doesn't. He's back for Thanksgiving, but I never hear from him. He keeps in touch with my wife, but I never hear from him. I never see him. You know, every
He
once in a
keeps
while.
in touch with my wife. Like,
Yeah.
he sends a postcard now.
It's
and then.
it's kind of like that. She'll text him and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, and then 2 days later, it's like, "All right."
Yeah, that's kind of how I was. I'm pretty sure my mom only ever knew I was alive at Syracuse by like Find My Friends. She would see that like it had updated.
No,
so
I would
living.
actually forget. I would forget that I had that function.
Forgot about my daughter.
No.
Forgot about
no,
you.
I would text her like I've always tried to be the non-smothering mom. Have I? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I've given. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I give. Are you texting your sister while we're
No,
sitting?
we're using our phones to communicate without being loud.
That's what I meant.
That would be texting.
Yeah.
No, it's pictures.
Oh.
Because you said my wife, Jack pulled up on Google Images the Borat, my wife. So we had to communicate that anyway.
You know how everything with me and you is like a pop culture reference, one liner, whatever.
Yeah,
It's nonstop in my house, and
Yeah.
not it's like
and it's shit that you don't get.
7/8 them. Yeah, yeah.
Although I did get the Borat thing. but-
Although I
Unfortunately.
I do, but every once in a while I'll have to say, "What's that from?" And they're like, "Oh, TikTok video." But
See, they're
So-
older now. My kids are teenagers still,
Yeah.
so I really don't get what the hell they're saying.
yeah, so
They're talking memes, and half the time I don't
That's
even
what
know
they
what
do.
the hell the meme is.
that's what they do. And if I didn't, do a podcast and have social media, I probably wouldn't know. But so anyway, I try and let several days, few days go by before I just send a text and like, hey. And like this one, Abby would never answer me. So finally, I would either have to text Abby, and because they're best
You
friends.
didn't mean Libby.
Oh, excuse me.
All right, guys, let's leave.
I would text Libby and say, "Have you talked to your sister?" "Oh yeah," and then she would tell me. Or I would finally say, "Okay, Ab, I just need to know if you're alive. Can you say hi?" And then she'd get a response. "Oh, hi, mommy."
Well,
Jack, you're pretty good sometimes.
no, Jack's pretty consistent on his. How often do you call her? Probably like once a week, once every other week,
Say a week and a half.
week and a half.
10 days.
I call my mom every single day.
Yeah, she does. Libby calls every single day.
Just literally say nothing.
Yeah, at school she would call me multiple times a day, and I would honestly be like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, I don't care what you ate for lunch. Like, call mom.
Oh no, I know that nobody cares. No, trust me.
Then call dad because he'll.
Okay, Dad loves
cares.
it. Dad loves it. That's very true. But no, my mom's saying like, "Oh, I asked like she'll ask me, have you talked to your sister?" And my dad will say that too, and I'm like, yeah, I guess technically I've talked to her, but it's mainly like I'll just send her a TikTok and she'll be like, "Ha."
Yeah. Well, she's in the next room now.
No. I'm
at
at school. Like before that it was like they'd gone like weeks or so.
Yeah.
Like
I was a little too caught up in the college life.
they were like, "Is she
That's
depressed?
good,
Is
though.
she happy? Like what's going on?" I'm like, I mean, she said ha 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 to the TikTok I sent her. so she's
I was being actual literal when I would just say, "Tell me you're alive."
and I would say, "Yeah,"
Yeah.
and
Okay. That's all.
yeah.
yeah.
Fitz, do you have news today?
Oh, I could do news, sure.
Okay. Kids, you ready for some news?
Jack loves the news. He probably knows every single thing coming
So
out of
fucking
Fitz's
ready.
mouth. Jack's is like, "This is my segment."
My favorite segment.
Yeah,
Weekend update with
really.
Jack.
Abby hates the news.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
it's not news.
Can it be something happy?
Oh, this will be dumb.
Stupid.
I mean,
news.
It's just
stupid
an
news. That's what it
ASPCA commercial.
Did you see, what was I just watching? They have one now with kids.
Oh, yeah, we were all watching.
Oh, we
that.
were all, that's why I was like, oh, like the hospital with the Shriners.
Did
I
you
was
know?
like,
Did you know in Germany they make commercials about America, how we are like food deprived, like those commercials?
really?
Dead ass. Look it up. Yeah.
True. Food insecurity in the U.S. is a major issue.
Isn't that crazy? Look it
They
up.
ask
I know
people to
some
send them
things.
money.
I know some things. Yeah, and they're sitting there like on the stoop, like how we used to see those commercials, and they're like, and it's like in the yard, and it's like, it's a craze
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because this
It's
was,
definitely just Jack and Abby just sitting there.
because we're so hungry.
They're so hungry. Look at this. Look at his beard. He's homeless.
that's why he has a beard, to keep food.
I am starting to think about dinner time, though.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
All right,
News.
Fitz, let's wrap it up.
No,
Roll
let's hear
credits.
the news.
All right, guys, get in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Patreon, Stitcher, iTunes.
Dude's got it
Quit.
down.
Well, I wanted the news.
I watch a lot of YouTube
All right.
and Twitch, so I know it's up.
All right, let's see. Speaking of food, in a survey on food and dating, 62% of people say that it's important that a potential partner likes food.
How is it only 62%? That's
Like, I don't care if the
What is
person
that?
I'm with actually likes to eat. I mean, whatever. Yeah. You might not
prefer
understand
food.
crypto, but El Salvador does. They're planning to build the world's first Bitcoin city funded by Bitcoin-backed bonds.
Abby doesn't know what a single one of those words are.
Jack, care to explain?
I don't want to live in a coin.
I don't have
town.
enough
That's a different. That's an entirely different episode, different podcast.
Coin
I
now.
want to live in a coin town.
66% of adults
Free
are
money
hoping
coins.
to avoid politics at the Thanksgiving table this year.
That's Abby. Yep, she was.
That's me.
It's only 66%. I thought it would be like 98%. Who
No,
the hell
yeah.
wants to do that?
That's
There's
true.
no way.
Yeah. who the fuck?
Uh,
That was. No, never mind. This is a stupid story. Go
all
ahead.
right. A hairstylist in Lansing, Michigan has become a viral mullet queen. And the mullets she creates are so popular that she may have to give up doing any other kind of cuts. Don't go to Michigan.
I'm going to Michigan
All right, I
right
got-
at.
Abby seemed to light up with that one.
I got a hot take about mullets.
Hot take.
Yeah, cut the music, Fitz. Hot take. There's this, you might not see it in your neck of the woods, wherever you are, callers and listeners. There's a new type of mullet in New York
Fitz, you're
City.
fired.
There's a new type of mullet in New York City where the sides are shaved, sides of your head are shaved. And the mullet itself, it's not thick and fluffy like, say, a hockey player or an 80s heartthrob. It is stringy as all can be. I don't know how to describe it else without a visual.
Early 2000s meth head.
Maybe.
Joe Dirt.
No, Joe Dirt's
No, he's
mullet is
Gollum.
better.
Yeah.
It's like
Gollum.
Like
Like
greasy.
Gollum when he's
Gollum.
still Smeagol, but not quite Gollum.
When he's
Like-
in the intermediary
like grease.
Smeagol.
Like 5 minutes into Return of the King, Andy Serkis is there, still there, playing himself without like full CGI.
right.
Oh.
That's great.
Deep cut for all of you
I don't know these.
I
Peter
don't
Jackson
know these
fans.
words either, Abby.
Wow.
Good God.
I don't
Ew.
know.
All right, moving on. A professor.
Thank you.
Ooh, this says NC-17. A professor was recently fired from Fordham University after he was accused of pleasuring himself during a Zoom lecture, but now he's suing, claiming that it's virtually impossible that he could have done that due to his ED and low testosterone levels. How's
Hey.
that for bragging?
Hasn't
couldn't have
stopped
done
the guy
that.
before, am
I
I
can't
right?
get it up. Wasn't me. I can't get it up. Jesus. This is crazy.
There's defense.
Wow. Something about it
Yeah.
makes me believe him. I don't lie.
Staying with
Damn Catholics.
Staying with the pleasure theme, a woman was arrested after giving her boyfriend oral pleasure in the backseat of a police cruiser after the officer left to search their vehicle. She might have gotten away with it too.
If it weren't for those
I
meddling
know,
kids.
that's what I was thinking. If it wasn't for those meddling kids. But she boasted that they could upload it on OnlyFans. The cop reviewed the cruiser's cameras and the proof was there. And some got on the
Jack, he didn't have to do the oral.
And last,
Fuck
but
Harley Jarvis.
certainly least,
Fuck you, Harley Jarvis. Sorry.
a woman in Florida was arrested on Saturday after being caught selling fentanyl. She told the cops that she was trying to earn money to pay for her attorney for a pending drug charge.
It's a vicious cycle, guys.
It is. It's hard to get out. It really is.
It's like all those strippers going to school for college working for college tuition.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly. Let it be known, Madge equates sex workers and drug dealers. They are the
No.
same person.
Fitz knows it's an old joke. It was always a punchline in a movie, an old joke. No, I don't think sex was. God, fuck you, Jack.
I was young. I needed the money.
$20 is $20.
That's right.
Madge supports FOSTA and SESTA.
Who?
It's
Are they the sex
there's like
workers
one person
union?
out there who's like, right, bad person.
Jack's trying to find you some new audience.
Yeah. Is that a
It's
hashtag?
a whole new hashtag for you.
There you go. FOSTA.
No, we don't want. No.
Okay,
don't.
sorry,
no, it's not a-
Madge,
not a
you
positive
don't. You
thing.
don't want to support those.
No.
Ixnay.
Mufasa.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know what it is. Yeah, that's bad.
So for those of you who don't know,
It's young love.
so apparently,
So these guys kind of. Oh, so is that it, Fitz?
That's it. We're done.
Okay.
So you know what? You know what this was like?
Thank you. What?
This was like a legacy cast, believe it or not, even though it was an episode of Madge Unmuted, because you had the whole family sitting at the table talking about family stuff, which is what a legacy cast is. Go to yourlegacycast.com and check it out, and we're doing all kinds of stuff with that. Lots of people.
Fitz will
Tons
record
of
one up
people
for
coming
you.
in.
big
Yeah.
fan of Legacy Cast.
Bringing in their grandmas and their opas and their mimis and whatever the hell else they call them.
Whatever white people call their grandma.
Yeah, whatever.
Get your white elderly.
Got to
people.
bring race into it. Thanks.
I'd like to just state after that we were a grandma and grandpa family. That's what we call it. We weren't a
No,
Mima,
actually,
Biba.
my kids were. It was back in the early 2000s when it was like G Money and G Unit and OG, and so they decided to call my parents G Ma and G Pa as a kind of play on that.
The
But mainly
OGs.
just
Monely?
mainly
Shmoney.
Money.
Were they
mainly
grandma and
amongst
grandpa on
themselves.
both sides?
Yep,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh well,
We'll go past that one.
yeah. Sorry.
That can go.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, Madge.
Madge, wrap it up.
fun.
Thanks for joining me today. While you're here, subscribe, like, share, reduce, reuse, recycle, and follow me on all stuff. Fitz, Scott Fitzgerald, rockfox.com. And I'd like to thank my lovely children, Jack, Libby, and Abby Zabelny.
Thanks, guys. Just want to thank our sponsors. We got Casper. We got Daily Harvest. we got Noom. We got Audible.
We
We got
wish.
Sheet Geek. We got.
We wish. If we had those, we definitely wouldn't have had the
Us as your
audio go out
guest.
in half your.
Stanley Tucci would have been here
Yeah.
in the flesh.
Damn it.
I say, I wouldn't have to prepare for anything. Every week I'll just have these kids on.
Yeah, go ahead.
It'd be more entertaining than shit I do. Anyway, thanks for joining us. See you next week.
If we're